what you are working to do. All right.
Well, you really made my day, honestly.
No, listen.
It's been a rough couple days.
Wait till you watch episode 1 of my. You'll love the podcast.
I'll watch it.
Hello, everybody. We're here on the Saving Humanity podcast. I'm here with my friend Hallie. And Hallie, you're talking about patterns and what you see as far as maybe the kind of folks that you're attracted to, and maybe it's a certain type that you have a pattern with, if you will, and I just wanted you to talk on that and sort of what you're learning about yourself and sort of as you evolve and transcend through time and space.
Okay, well, we broke up on Monday. I told you that, and I guess, so the boyfriend before, not great. Not a great guy. I mean, I have my issues, he has issues, but that's where the pattern started, is with him. This next one, we got into the relationship. We actually got into it, I feel like, way too early. Like, I was sad about the first one and then led to this. And as I've been thinking about this, I just have seen that I attract a certain type of men, whether it's intentional or that's what I like.
Well, let me ask you this. Do you think there are plenty of men who, like, are attracted to you at the same time? Maybe you're not as so keen on them. Like, is it the person who mistreats you, who makes you feel like you're having to reach or to kind of go, that you actually kind of almost value that more in a way?
Like you said, you want what you can't have.
Yes.
You're being a little bit, giving me the cold shoulder a little bit. Wait, why don't you want me? Why? That makes you want it more almost. You want to reach for that. Right. I think you're spot on that.
I feel like, I mentioned this to you, but like the more personal, the more universal. And so we all sort of encounter the same feelings and emotions, and it's I love learning. We were talking earlier. I love learning why we are the way that we are, and it's so fascinating, human behavior. And for me, I love human behavior. I don't look at it as good or bad. It's like getting mad when it's raining, or it's just like it is what it's becoming. So just enjoy the journey of it, but also like don't judge it. When someone does a certain thing or behaves, it's like when it rains outside. You wouldn't get upset. And for me, when someone behaves a certain way, or we feel like we've been treated unfair, it's just the nature of things. And then from there, we can adjust and sort of improve ourselves, and then try to have those boundaries and things to not put us in a situation where that can happen. One thing I really I think respect about you is sort of how you engage with people, the kindness that you share, the energy of which you work to share with your fellow man. Is that something cultivated over time? Did you find yourself, as a 4-year-old, do you feel like you said, you had a lot of positive affirmation from others, your parents, your family, grandma, and then that was sort of built up? Or are you naturally sort of just gregarious and sort of outgoing and so forth?
I think part of it is natural, but also, like I said, my family was great. My mom is like the nicest human, and more, I don't know if I can say this, but
yes,
I did grow up Mormon. Okay. So they're great people. I don't agree with that religion now, but they're great people, and I feel like I grew up with certain standards and just was around people who are outgoing. They want to go the extra mile. They just be nice. Like there's no charge for being, or what's that saying? There's no charge for being nice. Like, just be nice to people. You never know what they're going through. And so I think a little bit is I am, I guess you'd say, bubbly. And I just like to make friends, too. I like meeting people, kind of like you. I like learning. Yes. I think part of my job is, so I'm an assistant. Part of it is research. And when we do these Instagram videos, I help with the research on that side. Like, I like to learn, not necessarily through school, but I do like to learn, and I just like people. And I think it's a mixture of both, to go back to your original question.
Yes, it's like the nature and the nurture. You're born a certain way, and then also people, you see it growing up, and you think that that's the new normal. One thing I love about Utah, I'm from Mobile, Alabama, and I love how Utah has such a high vibration. And I credit like the people who came to this state, who founded this state, the pioneers or whomever, and just that ingenuity they had, the intelligence, and just that good energy. And for me, living here 3.5 years, and this is my 10th state, I realized that, like, man, not everywhere is created the same. And Utah has such a unique energy, such a unique vibration, and so many like smart, intelligent, quality humans. And It's one thing I think is like underrated about this state. It's like the culture and the people here. No matter what, it just really creates like very sensible, high vibration, really high character people.
Everyone's nice.
Yeah.
Like I was in Switzerland and France this past week and a half ago, a week ago.
Right next to each other.
Yes. Yeah. Rode a train everywhere. Yep. But it's not that the people weren't nice or were mean. It just comparing it here, everyone's so nice. Like you can walk down the street and it's like you'll get a compliment or they'll smile at you.
Hello.
Like it wasn't. I thought about that while I was there. Like, everyone's nice in Utah. Like, you can or go to the grocery store. The clerk is nice. Like everyone has bad days and can't generalize necessarily. But it is interesting.
It's interesting too. Like how we are as people. Like I've lived all over. I just flew out of the state and went back to my hometown and was visiting, and I love where I'm from. And the people there are naturally a little even more friendly than here.
Oh, I'm sure.
The South is just a different energy, and hello, everybody down in Mobile. But I know that like here, people are kind, but also like just very, in people here are very like driven, very they have ingenuity with what they're trying to do, and it's such a unique kind of energy. You just see people all the time who are building podcast studios, who are building businesses, who are really working to optimize their life, and it's a lot. For me, I love just not growing up here. Like I love being in this kind of environment because it makes me better. There's opportunities and there's people that your brain is subconsciously learning at all times. Whether you know it or not, you're learning the behavior of others, and it's getting in your subconscious. And Utah has such a very productive sort of driven, society here that it motivates you. Even subconsciously, you're like, I have to step my game up.
Well, it's who you surround yourself with too. If you're around people who are wanting to do that, naturally you're going to want to step up to the plate and be that as well.
Agreed.
So you gotta be careful who you surround yourself with.
Agreed. They always say like if there's 4 millionaires sitting around the table and you're there, you're going to be the fifth. Because you just learn how to do things, you learn how to scale things, you learn how to just progress. And it's a beautiful thing. And what I wanted to, if you, as you sort of hear and as you sort of, as someone who's kind, has a good energy, wants to do well, what do you think your skills most lend to actually sort of optimizing your own gifts that you have and how you'll share them with the world? Maybe what you're doing right now is awesome and you love it, but what do you see in your own realm of existence in the future?
Oh, that's a deep question. It's a big question.
I know. It is.
Truthfully, I do feel like I'm a little bit lost right now.
Okay.
I don't necessarily know what I'm passionate about. Like, are we talking career-wise? Mm-hmm. That's where I've been struggling since probably 17 years old. I feel like I'm too indecisive almost. Like, I know what I like, and that's not necessarily there's not like a path to it that's conventional. That doesn't mean it can't happen.
Right.
But there's no conventional path towards that, I guess. So I feel like probably starting February, I've been trying to find, I read this book, my boss recommended it actually. It was called And David Perceived He Was King, or David Perceived He's King, and it's about stepping into your true identity. What's your God, I'm Christian. Yeah. What's your God-given identity?
Right.
I believe God's given us this identity. That doesn't mean like fate or you're preordained to do anything, but you have your identity, and until you step into that true identity, you're never going to get to your full potential.
Interesting. It's a very, you wonder, like, I always think about, like, when I don't do what I know I should do, it, like, haunts me. Like, I can't stop thinking, like, man, I just let myself down or let my future self down or harm my potential family, all these things. And that's kind of, I think, what you're alluding to as far as just, like, I guess doing the next best thing, just trying your best on your journey and sort of looking to fulfill your destiny, even if it scares you or if it's a challenge. You can elaborate more on that, but I think I sort of am in the realm of what you're speaking of.
Yeah, and just that doesn't mean it's going to be easy.
Right.
It's not going to be the easiest path. I guarantee it's probably not the easiest path, but that doesn't mean it's not the path for you, and it will lead to something great or happiness or whatever you want to call
Mm-hmm.
it. But I guess it's just finding where to start on that journey can be hard. And you have all these voices telling you what to do, or this is what you should be doing. No, you're doing that wrong. And it can be hard to find, like, what do I want to do with my life? What do I want to do for work? Like, that's a reality of life. You need to work to make money. And I just feel like high school doesn't necessarily prepare you for, like, if anything, it did nothing.
Yeah,
I know. Like, in that sense. I don't know what I want to do. You're told, go to college, graduate, go to college, go to school for 4 years, and then get a job, get married, you'll have the white picket fence. Like, it's never that simple.
No.
It's not that simple.
It's not that simple. And it's also like it can be a waste of resources and energy and time. I respect people who don't do the traditional things, don't necessarily do traditional school, whether it's high school or, college for sure, that kind of go their own way.
I dropped out of college quick. My parents paid for it, which I was very blessed, but I was going because that's what you're supposed to do.
Right.
You're supposed to go to college after high school. And that wasn't what I wanted. I didn't know what I wanted to be, wasting my parents' money at the end. I'm like, you're throwing money into this, and I don't even want to be here. And I don't know what I'm doing.
Right.
Like, it's just throwing money into the gutter at this point.
What's the coolest part about being an assistant? And what's something that you've learned or sort of discovered about yourself that you would have never thought?
Oh, I do love my job. It's an interesting situation. The people I work for now, I dated their son before this. So I feel like, for me, knowledge is what I've gained the most out of this.
Okay.
Health knowledge.
Yes.
Faith knowledge. Like,
yes.
They're just amazing people, and I feel like have taught me so much, a different way to look at things.
Right.
Like, they went the other, like, the non-traditional path, which is cool to see someone do that. Like, for example, my boss has severe dyslexia. Like, it's bad dyslexia, and he's wildly successful. He was told he was dumb in school. Like, I don't know. I just think I look up to them a lot, and I like to learn from them. I like to see where they came from to where they are now. It's incredible. Like, incredible. And I don't know. I feel like I learn a lot. I meet a lot of cool people. I really do like my job a lot.
That's awesome. And Hallie, what's one health thing that you've learned that you didn't expect to learn, or what's one thing that sort of at least helped you in your own life?
Well, I'll give you a fake answer first.
Okay. All right. Fake answer.
Fat makes you fat.
Right.
Eating fat makes you fat.
Right.
Which
yeah.
I hate to admit it, but I did think that for a while.
Yeah.
Or that eating brown rice is better. It's healthier.
Right. Exactly. Yeah. It has toxins in it. So.
Well, exactly. Yeah. Exactly. The biggest.
What's something that you've taken and really like is on your mind?
Diet.
Okay.
I feel like has been my biggest thing.
Okay.
So I grew up doing cheer.
Okay.
Gave me a slight eating disorder, which
wow.
My brain instantly tells me don't even admit that, but it was an eating disorder.
Sure.
And
sure.
I feel like they helped me look at things so much differently, and like what foods are actually, you need to fuel your body.
Right.
You can't just not eat or throw up your food because you want to be skinny.
Yes.
Also, your body is going to think it's starving, and it's going to hold on to your fat and destroy your muscle.
Right.
Quality of food, just because, or like it's gluten-free, does that mean it's healthy?
Right.
No.
Exactly.
I would think like that.
Right. Exactly.
I wasn't getting the right information.
Right.
But I feel like my diet has changed the most in the last 2.5 years.
Is that like eating more whole foods, eating more like obviously less processed, but like eating more like, are you like more macronutrient? Like, do you like look at it and be like, oh, I can get my macros. Like I can like you eat more like avocados and.
To a point, it's also quality. Like the seed oil thing. I'm sure you've heard about that.
Yeah.
The seed oils, inorganic food, ultra processed. Like you should shop on the perimeter of the grocery store. I don't know. I think it has helped the eating disorder a lot. And there are times though where I'm like, oh, I'll just not eat. Like it's easier just not to eat.
And Hallie, like I'm sure people would look at you and like you have this very healthy demeanor. You obviously have a lot of energy. You're kind to everybody. And then to like know that you struggle with, I guess, body dysmorphia.
Yeah.
What do you think? Well, what do you think that taught you, and how have you sort of learned to release that? And I don't think any of us have ever, enlightened or anything like that. But as you've sort of evolved yourself, what has helped you?
Oh, let me think. Part of it, which isn't the greatest answer that helped, is understanding how the body actually works. That not eating doesn't make you skinny in the long run. And I like having muscle definition too.
Right.
Like
I know.
it just, like I said, it eats it all up.
Yes.
So from that stance, like understanding how the body works, that I feel like made a big impact on like the way I thought. And then just, you can have people tell you all the time, like, you look great, you look skinny, you don't need to be doing this. But until like, I feel like you accept, because for a long time, like, I don't have an eating disorder. What are you talking about? Like, I'm fine. I'm just not hungry, or I just am not going to eat lunch, or you know what I mean? But accepting it and being like, wait, maybe you do have a problem with eating. Stop letting your mind trick you into thinking what you're doing is normal, because it's not normal. So I feel like accepting it for myself is what almost put the nail in the coffin, was like, you need to make a change. This is getting out of control and out of hand.
Right. I feel like the evolution of ourselves too, like the things that we think matter, change over time, It's pretty incredible how that can, like when you're this age, you think this is a quality thing. And a part of it is like your brain develops, but also just like wherever you're at in life, like you just, I think as you age, you get more peaceful, you get more grounded. I think if you're doing it right, you get more grounded. You become more in your essence. You sort of, learn just, to, I guess, love yourself first. And but also just you're not as externally driven as much as you are internally driven, as you age and evolve, because ultimately, we have our life, and, the meaning that we give things and sort of our own self-fulfillment, and that's probably the most impactful, certainly for us as people. And I feel like what's so interesting is to hear you talk, and I appreciate your authenticity and like talking about that, because I know it's not always easy to talk about things. And was there ever a point when you were like, man, did you ever feel yourself like sort of trying to create something that like maybe you saw from images, or was there anything in your mind, or was it just like in your mind you just didn't want? Did you almost like the image, or like the feeling of being like someone that's attractive, and like people look at and are like, oh, look at that girl, she's this, she's that? And did you not want to let that down? Did you want to amplify that? Do you think it was like that? Not that you were validation driven, but do you think that validation played into a role of like how you saw yourself and how you sort of wanted to look in the world and so forth?
Of course, yeah. And social media, I feel like, is the worst culprit. Right. But growing up with cheer, like, I was a flyer. Okay. So people are lifting you, and they're holding you over their head, and it's hard, and it's tiring. All of those things, the last thing you want to do is be like, oh, you feel heavy today. Right. And it's like, oh my gosh, all I ate was breakfast. Right. Like, so that played a part. And then just like what you said, seeing, maybe I am a little bit validation. I think we all are.
We all are to some degree.
Yeah, to some degree.
Even me, I was fixing my hair before we went on camera. I need to fix my hair right now. And it's hard. So this is the way I look at that. And you can speak on this. But, I look at it like there's nothing wrong with like being the best version of yourself relative to like, I look the way I look, and I love hearing my voice. I love looking at myself. So I love it. And then I'm going to, brush my hair. I'm going to, just have an energy and an effort into my connection with my fellow man, no matter who they are, because it's how I love being, and instead of seeing it like I have to do something, or I'm thinking, oh, what do I look like? It's more like, I look awesome. I'm one of one. There's no one quite with my personality, my perspective, my energy. And then I'm going to share, and I'm going to connect with people like you. And it's a beautiful thing. And also, though, there's nothing wrong with like, hey, I want to, work out. Not even from a superficial standpoint, from a health, but also like, hey, it keeps me healthy. It gives me energy. And I also like how I look and feel when I work out. So I think like for me, a healthy way is like, doesn't really matter my external, my outer shell, because I love myself. Like, I know I'm like the sun. I can share freely, and everybody can take my energy. Also, though, it's like, hey, just like I would with my work, with other parts of my life, why not, just do your best? Because, that's what made us who we are as humans. We're us calibrating to be a little bit better evolved us from, a million years ago in our, early days, of being like Cro-Magnon man and Neanderthal and having to, survive and living till we're 25 years old. All those things helped us, gave us something to shoot for. And so I think that's maybe a healthier viewpoint instead of worrying about like, I have to have. It's like, no, you're just creating. You're just doing more. You're just adding a bonus. You're perfect and complete. And I'm going to brush my hair,
Mm-hmm.
And is there anything? What would you tell your younger self? If you could tell yourself anything. So I know I know you're young, but if you could talk to yourself a few years ago and sort of before you started on your journey in health and so forth, what would you tell your younger self?
Well, this isn't something we've talked about a ton, but stop caring about what other people think.
Right.
Like, it's just not that deep.
Right.
Like, I was so concerned, especially in high school. Well, I guess that goes into the skinny thing. It's like, I want them to perceive me as skinny. I need to be seen as X, Y, Z. But just to stop caring so much about what other people think of me and just live. Just live. Just be a good person and live.
Right. I think it's hard to, like, when you're young, so much of your value, I think at least we think it is like our outer shell. It's like, oh, this is my outer shell. This is my value. And then women have it reinforced too from like the external too. And you're definitely more of like a traditional. You're not like a you're not like a feminist, left leaning. You're like a decent human who's kind to everybody. And even you feel it too, where it's like, I have to look a certain way. I kind of like, being perceived this way or feeling this way when people think of me like this. And I think, finding that self-worth and something, I think about it like this. I take a lot of pride in my work and the things I do, but like, I don't even need to do those things. Like, what if I'm perfect and complete just as I am? Like what if there's no measure of anything that could ever complete me? Like just knowing I love myself, I'm one of one, I'm unique to my own, and my own perspective, personality is enough to make anything, any situation, any person just want to be in my energy wave. And I think we should all have that healthy self-reflection, and we should be practical of like, okay, I love myself, I'm awesome. Also though, if I'm going to go in business with someone, or if I'm going to go hang out with somebody, let me think of ways that I can, share with them that also are win-win, that offer value to them, that where I have something to give, So it's like you're building an arsenal so you can combine with somebody and then share. It's like an upward spiral. It's not coming from a source of lack. It's coming from a source of like, I'm excited to expand. I'm excited to share. I'm excited to grow so I can collaborate with this person or connect with this person so we can do something awesome,
Yeah.
And seeing it like that.
Well, what I've been thinking about a lot lately is you need to see the value. Like, I'm saying this to myself. You need to see the value in yourself.
Right.
So I think that's where I kind of lost sight of, wait a second, like, you care so much about what other people think of you. What about what you think about you? Like, see your value instead of getting validation from other people to have that value. Does that make sense?
Yes.
So I think that's what's been like playing through my head is you need to see the value in yourself. You need to see the value in yourself and not let negative people or negative things affect you and people's validation affect you so deeply.
Yes. It's hard. I think that's like we talked about, like the more personal, the more universal. I think we're all sort of, because we're naturally looking at others' behavior to survive, making sure that like we're, alive and surviving is we have to ping off other people, especially as we're young, because that's how we survive, and then learning that like, oh, okay, that like, I'm perfect and complete just as I am, and I can do better, but I'm perfect and complete. And I think there's something too, like, I've had a near-death experience, and I think those things help you ground yourself a little bit, and you realize that like life is so short, and also like none of this matters. Like if some person likes you or they don't, if some person wants to connect with you and do a business opportunity or they don't, it's all good, because in the end, the fact that we're alive is a miracle. The fact that we get to experience this, and the fact that it's kind of beautiful that we're not going to experience this forever, and it gives it a sense of specialness and scarcity, and all those things are beautiful as well. And that sort of reframe for me has helped. And when I connect with someone, whether it's a social connection or whether it's, a business connection, I love sharing. I love learning. I know, I'm awesome. And I love making things better in the lives of whomever it is or whatever it is that I choose to do. So you're awesome, dude. You're awesome.
Thanks. You're awesome.
I feel like this is Hallie's first podcast. And it's one of the greatest podcasts probably that's been shot today. I don't know about tomorrow or the next day, but in this studio right here, right now, we just broke a record. And hope you're doing awesome. Bye.
Well, thank you.
Peace. Dude, you're welcome. You're welcome.